You hear the term behavioral skills thrown around all the time, right? But what if the most important skill isn't just having them, but truly understanding them? Today, we're going to dig into why that little distinction is a massive game changer for any team or leader. So let's get into it. All right, I want you to imagine something for me. You're putting together your absolute dream team for a make or break project. It's down to the wire, and you've got two final candidates. So on one side, you've got the technical genius. I mean, they're brilliant, absolutely top of their field, but they're just, tough to work with. They create friction. Then there's the great collaborator. They're good at their job for sure, but their real superpower, they make everyone else on the team better. It's a classic problem, and it gets right to the heart of what we're talking about today, the difference between the what and the how. Okay, so let's actually define what we're talking about here. What in the world are behavioral skills? The easiest way to think about it is this. They are the how behind the what you do every single day. So the official definition is that they're these transferable traits, the interpersonal, emotional, and attitudinal stuff that let you work well with other people and, just as importantly, manage yourself. We're talking about things like communication, being adaptable, and emotional intelligence. Yeah, you might hear people call these soft skills, but let me tell you, their impact on success is anything but soft. And this right here, this is the core idea. Technical skills are the what you do. Can you code? Can you design? Can you do the accounting? They're specific to a job. But behavioral skills, that's the how you do it. How you collaborate, how you handle a stressful Tuesday, how you communicate your big idea. And that how, well, you can take that with you to any job, in any industry. It's universal. And it's important to know these skills aren't just one single thing. They're really a mix of what we can actually see you do, your observable behaviors, plus your core personality, what really motivates you deep down, and even some of your natural, innate talents. All of that gets blended together to create the unique way you show up. All right, so we get what they are, but why should we care? I mean, why is every company suddenly so focused on this stuff? Well, let's take a look at the scoreboard. First off, and this is a big one, performance and retention. It's simple, really. People with strong behavioral skills are more adaptable. They help create a better work environment, and guess what? That leads to higher productivity. Plus, they tend to stick around longer, which saves everyone a huge headache. And then, of course, there's teamwork. I mean, skills like empathy and being able to handle a little conflict, that's basically the glue that holds a project together, right? It builds trust, it cuts down on the drama, and you just get way better results, period. Now, for leadership, this is absolutely crucial. When a company really gets these skills, they can spot who's got real leadership potential. It helps build a culture where everyone is pulling in the same direction, where how people act actually matches what the company says it values. And you know where all of this ends up? With the customer. Because when your team is good at communicating and solving problems, your clients feel it. It leads to better relationships and a healthier bottom line. It all connects. Okay, but here's where we pivot. This is the real core of what we're talking about today. Because it turns out it's not enough to just have these skills yourself. The real game changer is developing a kind of coach's insight. So that begs the question, right? Is it good enough to just be a great collaborator, to just be an amazing communicator yourself? And the answer we're getting from the research is a clear no, not even close. And this quote right here, this says it all. The ability to understand these skills is a totally separate thing from just being able to do them, and that is a huge mental shift for a lot of people. This is what the experts call the knows about behavioral skills competency. It's basically a meta skill. It's not about what you can do, but what you know. It means you have the knowledge to actually spot these skills in other people, explain why they matter, and help others develop them. It's literally the difference between being a good player on the field and being a great coach on the sidelines. So who needs this coach's insight? Well, pretty much anyone whose job it is to help other people grow. We're talking about HR folks, trainers, managers at every level, and mentors. If your job is to make your team better, this isn't a nice to have, it's a must have. Okay, so if you're going to be the coach, you need a playbook, right? So let's crack it open and see what's inside. This playbook is broken down into a few key areas. For example, under interpersonal, a great coach doesn't just say, hey, teamwork is important. No. They understand the specific actions that create real collaboration versus the ones that just cause conflict. Or look at motivational. A coach can tell the difference between someone who takes initiative because they're ambitious and someone who's resilient because they just bounce back from anything. It's all about seeing and understanding those nuances. All right, so how do you actually figure out if someone has this coach's insight? How do you scout for this kind of awareness? Well, there's a whole process for it. You don't just guess. You use things like behavioral interviews, where you ask them to tell me about a time when, using that STAR method. You can give them scenario tests and see how they break down a tough situation. You get feedback from everyone they work with, that full 360-degree view. You're basically hunting for concrete proof that they really get it. And here's the best part. This is not some magical talent you're either born with or you're not. Just like any other skill, this coach's insight can be developed. So, what's the training plan look like? The roadmap here is actually pretty straightforward. Yeah, you can go to training programs, find a great mentor, read all the books, and that stuff is important. But the real learning, that happens when you actually do it. You've got to get your hands dirty, leading discussions, designing training, giving tough feedback, and actually trying to develop the people on your team. That's where the rubber meets the road. So I want to leave you with one final question to think about. Stop asking, which skill do I need to get better at? And start asking, which behavioral skill do I need to understand better so I can make my whole team stronger? Because that shift in thinking from player to coach, well, that might just be the most powerful behavioral skill of all.